Douglas gently buffered up to Percy. The little green engine had broken down and Douglas had had to take over his job, mainly to deal with some milk tankers that had been left out in the sun. "Why shouldn't have left those milk tankers in the sun like that?" Percy said. "Didn't you fash yourself?" Douglas replied as they moved off. "Everyone makes mistakes, he can. Here, let me tell you a wee story about my first day on the railroad," he continued as he began to push Percy towards the works station. "Do you know Thomas's special coach, the one that comes off Gordon's Express?" "Yes," Percy replied. "Well, this is about the time I lost it. Donald and I had only just arrived. The Fat Controller was only expecting one engine, but we knew that whichever one of us stayed behind would be scrapped. We'd made sure to lose our numbers on the way, you see, and only gave ourselves names afterwards. The Fat Controller was near too happy about it, but there wasn't too much he could do. He had the min paint numbers on our tenders. As you can, Donald was 9 and I was number 10. It was after the workers had finished that we noticed." "Okay," Donald said. "We noticed the workmen had painted B numbers on our tenders, but nothing on us." "You didn't say," I replied. "Do you mean?" "Aye," Donald replied. "Just so." Soon the Fat Controller introduced us to another engine. "This is Duck," he said. "He'll show you around." Donald and I picked up the work fairly quickly. I was working in the yard when Gordon steamed in. He sauntered off to take a drink and I took care of his coaches. Now, I was a wee bit worried, Percy. It's a dangerous game I was playing, you know. I hoped the Fat Controller wouldn't have found out that I wasn't supposed to be here. Got so worried I forgot to pay attention to what I was doing. Instead of shunting the special coach, I put it in the siding with the others. Tom was supposed to buy a few moments later. He quickly came back. "My coach," he said. "I cannot find my coach." I traded a look with Donald. "Coach? What coach?" "My special coach, the one off Gordon's Express for passengers on my branch line," Thomas replied. "I need to find it," he said. He puffed off and in that moment a terrifying realization hit me. "I've gone and shunted in the siding with all the others," I said to Donald. Looking over at the station, we could see the Fat Controller approaching with some angry passengers. "Now here's what we'll do," said my driver. "We'll switch tenders. Then Donald, you take your freight train and leave us to worry about this mess." So it was done and Donald quickly took off with my tender. Then the Fat Controller reached where I was standing. "Why have you not taken your freight train number 9? he asked. "My tender's come uncoupled, sir," I replied. He took a wee glance around my tender. "Some defect, I'd say," he observed. He scrutinized me closely. "Why did number 10 leave so quickly?" he asked suspiciously. "Maybe he saw you coming and thought he was late, sir," I replied, saying the first thing that came to me. He turned to the passengers who were with him. "Here are the facts," he said. "Number 10 was shunted in the yard. Your coach disappeared. Now number 10 has also disappeared. I leave you to draw your own conclusions. Please accept my apologies for this incident." He watched until the passengers climbed the station stairs. His shoulders twitched and for a moment I thought he was crying. Suddenly he turned around, pointing an accusing finger at me. "Douglas," he said accusingly, "why are you masquerading with Donald's tender?" "Why were you masquerading with Donald's tender?" Percy asked. He had enjoyed listening to Douglas's story. "We hoped the Fat Controller would chase him down," Douglas replied. "But that incident taught us a wee thing or two. I always paid attention to my work after that, and we never tried to pull anything over on the Fat Controller again. But my point is, Percy," Douglas continued, "do not dwell on your mistakes like you're doing now. The best thing to do is to learn from them and move on, like I did." "Thank you, Douglas," Percy said. "It's no bother," Douglas replied. "If you hadn't gone to the Fat Controller as a deputation, I'd be on the scrap heap right now. I owed you one." And with that, the two engines continued towards the works.